You know that many of the foods you consume thinking they are safe can actually be laying the groundwork for a heart attack. This is not an exaggeration. Heart surgeons have been warning for years that the real cause of many fatal heart attacks is not age itself, but what you eat every day, especially after the age of 50. The heart is resilient, but what's on your plate can gradually weaken its ability to keep beating strongly. After 50, the body changes, and the heart requires even more attention. Poor circulation, accumulated fat, fluctuating blood pressure, tests that start to change. All of this may seem normal with time, but in most cases, they are clear signs that the body is fighting something that enters your diet every day. These are foods that inflame from the inside, silently clog arteries, and can cause a heart attack without warning. In this video, you will discover the 7 foods that a heart surgeon would never put on the plate after the age of 50. They are common, popular items that appear harmless, but that accelerate the aging of the arteries and dramatically increase the risk of a heart attack. And most importantly, you will understand what can happen if you continue to consume these foods without knowing the risks, and how to replace them intelligently. Stay with me until the end, because the last item on the list is the most dangerous of all, and also the most present in the homes of most Americans. If you want to protect your heart, maintain your vitality, and live with more lightness, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and comment here. My heart is worth more. Because what you do after 50 defines how you will live after 60, 70, and beyond. Long before modern medicine understood the impact of diet on heart health, Buddhist monks were already warning, what you eat not only shapes your body, it also shapes your destiny. In their tradition, eating with distraction, excess, or attachment was seen as one of the most silent paths to suffering. And certain foods were not just avoided, they were feared, because they knew that over time, poison enters through the mouth and collapse begins from within. Today, science confirms many common foods have the power to silently inflame, harden arteries, raise blood pressure, and set the stage for fatal heart attacks. And the scariest part, these foods are not in exotic restaurants. They're in your breakfast, your afternoon snack, your everyday meals. If you're over 50, you need to understand your heart can no longer withstand the same abuses as in the past. It needs clean circulation, unobstructed arteries, lightness in the blood. And this only happens when you start cutting, consciously, the food triggers that put you one step away from a heart attack. In the next few minutes, you'll discover the 7 foods that a real heart surgeon would avoid at all costs. Some of them are so common that you may have already consumed them today. And the last on the list is what kills the most Americans every year, silently, without warning, without pain, until it's too late. The first food is one of the most dangerous on the list, and also one of the most present in American refrigerators: processed meats, sausage, bacon, ham, salami, packaged sausages. They seem harmless, practical, even delicious. But what happens in your body after you eat this is what a heart surgeon sees when he opens a chest in the operating room. Clogged, inflamed arteries on the brink of a heart attack. These foods are loaded with sodium, chemical preservatives, nitrates, and oxidized saturated fats. A perfect combination to increase blood pressure, harden blood vessel walls, and generate fatty plaques that stick to the arteries. They don't attack all at once. They corrode from within. Every day, a little bit. And the body keeps warning. Fatigue, shortness of breath, tingling, chest pain, until one day it stops warning. The big problem is that these meats have been so normalized that they seem part of the routine. Many people start the day with a ham sandwich, end with a dinner full of sausage or salami, and don't even realize they're pouring fuel on the fire. And the poor heart, trying to pump blood through a pipe that's turning into a clogged pipe of fat, salt, and poison disguised as food. The worst part is that these products mess with the brain's chemistry. They activate dopamine, create a sense of comfort, addiction, repetition. That's why it's so hard to quit. But those who have already switched know. When you remove these meats from your routine, the body starts to respond. Blood pressure starts to stabilize. Circulation improves. The feeling of lightness returns. Because the body wants to recover, it just needs to stop fighting what you put on your plate. You don't need to become radical. But you need to be realistic. These meats weren't made to nourish. They were made to last on the shelf. And what lasts too long outside the body rots inside it. The heart doesn't need another scare. It needs space to beat in peace. The second food a cardiac surgeon doesn't want to see on your plate is refined vegetable oils, soybean oil, corn oil, sunflower oil, canola oil. They're in practically everything, in rice preparation, frying, cakes, ready-made foods. And the problem is that these oils, when heated, transform into real inflammatory bombs for your cardiovascular system. They oxidize easily, generate free radicals, and directly attack the walls of your arteries. Consuming these oils daily is basically bathing your circulatory system with a fat that sticks, inflames, and destroys from within. It's not a nourishing fat. It's an aggressive one. It's like coating the arteries with varnish and then trying to pump blood forcefully. The result? Blood pressure rises, flow decreases, and the heart has to work twice as hard. And in the long run, it may fail. Many people think they are eating light because they use these oils in small amounts. But it's not the quantity that matters, it's the type. These oils are highly processed, lose all their nutrients in refining, and become cheap fat that the body can't properly process. The liver suffers, the arteries stiffen, and the blood, which should flow clean, starts facing a real internal battlefield. You may be eating vegetables, lean meats, even salad. But if you're cooking everything with soybean or corn oil, you're sabotaging your own health without realizing it. Swapping this type of oil for more stable fats like extra virgin olive oil, coconut oil, or ghee butter can make a huge difference. It's not gourmetification, it's heart disease prevention. If your heart is tired, with irregular beats, unstable blood pressure, body swelling, or a constant feeling of heaviness, this could be the invisible culprit. The oil that seems light in the pan is weighing down your arteries, and the longer you ignore it, the harder it will be to clean up that damage later. The third food that a cardiac surgeon would never recommend, especially after 50, are industrialized breakfast cereals. Those colored, crispy, whole grain flakes with promises of vitamins, fiber, and energy for the day. Sounds healthy, doesn't it? But in practice, they are a perfect trap, full of sugar, hydrogenated vegetable fat, chemical additives, and highly processed grains that overload the heart. What should be a light meal turns into a glycemic shock in the early hours of the day. Glucose skyrockets, insulin comes with everything, and the body enters a cycle of inflammation and stress, metabolic disorder that directly affects the cardiovascular system. And the worst part? This happens while you think you're starting your day right. Many of these cereals have more sugar than dessert, and even the sugar-free versions are full of sweeteners and inflammatory ingredients. Over time, This pattern takes its toll on your blood vessels. Constantly high blood sugar levels weaken the endothelium, the lining of your arteries, increase your risk of plaque buildup, raise your blood pressure, and accelerate the aging of your arteries. That's why so many people start the day feeling energized and then, hours later, feel fatigued, have a headache, and have fluctuating blood pressure. Your heart is already beating up at breakfast, and no one told you. If you really want to take care of your heart, start by looking at what you call light meals. Swapping out those grains for real options like real oats, chia seeds, and fresh fruit and nuts will completely change the way your body responds. You'll turn off the inflammation alarm, stabilize your blood sugar, and allow your heart to work with less strain. The problem isn't just what you eat. It's what you believe is doing you good when in fact it's harming you. And the most insidious thing is this. These foods come with a healthy label, a pretty box with wellness slogans. But inside, they carry exactly what your heart doesn't need. And you deserve more than that. The fourth food, or rather liquid poison, that a heart surgeon would never put in his body is soft drinks and sugary drinks. Here we are not just talking about the classic can of soda. We are also talking about industrialized juices, ready-made teas, water flavored with sugar, and even sports drinks. All of these seem refreshing, but what they do to your body is as destructive as cigarettes, and your heart pays the price. These drinks are rich in refined sugar in very high doses, often mixed with caffeine, artificial colors, and even hidden sodium. This generates an almost explosive effect on the body. Blood sugar levels rise, insulin levels spike, generalized inflammation sets in, and the cardiovascular system silently collapses. This weakens arteries, increases the risk of high blood pressure, clogs microvessels, and overloads the heart without you even realizing it. The most dangerous thing is that these drinks are treated as normal. They are at Sunday lunch, at afternoon snack, at dinner with the family. And for those over 50, the impact is even greater. Because the body no longer regulates sugar as easily, the liver is already slower, and the artery walls have already lost some of their elasticity. What was just a fizzy drink becomes a long-term trigger for a heart attack. Replacing these drinks with water with lemon, iced herbal tea, or even diluted natural juice may seem boring at first. But your body will feel the difference. In a few days, your blood pressure will stabilize, swelling will decrease, and your heart rate will calm down. Because your body doesn't need artificial flavors, it needs space to breathe. And when your heart feels at peace, it will start beating more easily again. What seems harmless, refreshing, and even fun is silently killing your heart. And the worst part is, with your permission. But the good news is that if you're the one who put it in, you're also the one who can take it out. And your heart will notice fast. The fifth food may surprise you, because it often appears in dishes that look like healthy, industrial salad dressings. Those little bottles of ranch, Caesar, honey mustard, zero fat, or light that you put on top of lettuce, thinking you're making the right choice. But what many people don't know is that these dressings turn your salad into an inflammatory dish and dangerous for your heart. These sauces are true hidden bombs. They contain poor quality refined oils, usually soy or canola, hidden sugar, corn syrup, excessive sodium, artificial colors, and emulsifiers. The result? A combo that increases bad cholesterol, LDL levels, inflames the arterial endothelium, and creates a perfect environment for plaque formation and vascular hardening. All of this on top of your lettuce. What's most deceptive is the appearance. They are creamy, smooth, slightly sweet, with that promise of low fat or no sugar on the label. But the truth is that these products were designed to addict the palate and hide the real taste of the food. And when this enters the body every day, even in small amounts, the impact accumulates, and the heart begins to suffer in silence. You feel this as fatigue, bloating, light palpitations, fluctuating pressure, without realizing that the problem is precisely in that final touch of your lunch. Replacing these sources with extra virgin olive oil, lemon, apple cider vinegar, pure mustard, or even natural seasonings may seem bland at first, but the body is grateful, because what you pour on top of the salad is not a detail, it's a decision. Remember this, it's not just what you eat, but how you season it. And a simple little sauce can be the reason why your salad, instead of protecting you, is helping to sabotage your heart. And from now on, you know this. The sixth food can be in your bag, in your work drawer, or even in the kitchen cabinet, waiting for the next quick hunger. They are the famous protein bars, cereal bars, and the so-called healthy snacks. They come with labels that say 0 sugar, rich in protein, low carb, or fit snack. But in practice, they are as processed and loaded with artificial ingredients as a common industrialized sweet. These bars usually contain artificial syrups, chemical sweeteners, low-quality isolated soy proteins, inflammatory fats, and preservatives that the body does not recognize as real food. This generates enormous metabolic stress. The liver works double, blood sugar fluctuates, and the heart begins to suffer the effects of this internal mess. All because of a snack that seemed harmless. Many of these bars also have hidden ingredients like hydrogenated vegetable fat, maltodextrin, corn syrup, and emulsifiers, all already associated with increased systemic inflammation and plaque formation in the arteries. That is, they increase the risk of hypertension, hormonal imbalance, unregulated cholesterol, and, yes, heart attack. And all this is sold as if it were a functional food. Worst of all, consumption becomes routine. The person thinks they are taking care of their health because they have exchanged chocolate for a light or vegan bar. But they continue to feed the same inflammatory cycle as always. And over time, the body gives signs: shortness of breath, chest heaviness, difficulty regaining energy. But since it doesn't seem to have a clear cause, no one suspects the bar that seems so good. If you really want to take care of your heart, replace these fake snacks with real food. Nuts, fruits, boiled eggs, unsweetened natural yogurt, a handful of seeds, or even a square of real dark chocolate. The body recognizes, responds, and thanks. Because what comes in a pretty plastic and full of marketing almost always comes with a hidden cost that the heart pays in silence. The seventh and last food on this list may be the most shocking. Not because it's the most caloric, nor because it's the fattiest, but because it's the most disguised as healthy. We're talking about the famous whole grain bread from the market. The one that says 100% whole grain, 7 grains, rich in fiber, fit, without. Cholesterol is present in the breakfast of millions of people every day, including those who think they are eating clean. What few know is that most of these industrialized whole grain breads are made with disguised white flour, inverted sugar, corn syrup, over-processed gluten, vegetable fat, and a huge list of chemical additives. In other words, behind the appearance of a functional food, there is a product that can indeed inflame your arteries, unbalance your glucose levels, and silently put pressure on your heart. These ingredients raise the glycemic load of the meal and require an intense metabolic response from the body. This means that the pancreas needs to release a lot of insulin, the liver goes on alert, and the blood starts circulating in an inflammatory environment. The long-term result? Plaque in the arteries, out-of-control cholesterol, and, over time, an elevated risk of heart attack. And the worst part? No one suspects anything. After all, you're eating whole wheat bread. The box says it's healthy. The label says it has fiber. But when you read the ingredient list, if you have the courage, you'll find 10, 15, sometimes 20 components that wouldn't exist in homemade bread, and each of them contributes, on a small scale, to the slow collapse of your cardiovascular system. Those who consume this type of bread every day usually notice bloating, sleepiness soon after eating, fluctuations in blood pressure throughout the day, irregular heartbeats, and a persistent feeling of fatigue. But no one connects this to the bread, because it's whole wheat, it's good for you. But the body feels the truth, even when the label lies. And it's not about cutting the bread of life, it's about cutting the lie. True whole grain bread has very few ingredients: whole grain flour, natural yeast, water, salt. No preservatives, no sweeteners, no enriched with synthetic vitamins. Anything beyond that may be sabotaging your health, bit by bit, slice by slice. If your goal is to live longer with a strong heart, the secret is not in cutting calories. It's in cutting what's disguised as healthy, because those are the most dangerous. They come in with your permission, and the heart pays the price, with effort, with pain, and sometimes with life. So now that you know, look closely at what seems too healthy. Not everything that comes with a fitness seal takes care of you. Sometimes what protects your health is precisely what doesn't come packaged, colored, or promising miracles. It comes simple, it comes real, and the heart recognizes that. Few people talk about this, but the timing and temperature of foods also influence heart health. Today's bonus tip is simple but extremely powerful. Reduce your consumption of very hot or heavy foods at night. This includes hot soups, large meals with rice, meats, hot sauces, pasta, and even beverages like coffee or black tea before bed. It may seem like a detail, but it makes all the difference. When you consume something very hot or slow to digest at the end of the day, your body temperature rises, your metabolism accelerates, and the cardiovascular system has to work harder. Your heart beats faster, your blood pressure may rise subtly, and during sleep, the body doesn't enter a deep state of recovery. It remains on alert. And this, repeated night after night, can affect heart rate, sleep quality, and vascular health in the medium term. Studies have already shown that heavy, warm, late-night meals are linked to early morning blood pressure spikes, mild arrhythmias, and changes in heart rate variability. Silent signs that the body is not resting as it should. Instead, prioritize light, warm or cold meals with natural, digestible, low-salt foods. A light evening meal can mean a calmer heart, more stable blood pressure, and much more restorative sleep. Remember, the heart also sleeps, and everything you do before bedtime can affect the quality of that rest. If you give it less effort at night, it will deliver more life to you during the day. And, sometimes, the difference between waking up well or waking up tired is exactly this: in what you ate and how you ate before closing your eyes. Before closing this video, I want to give you something even more important than the list of dangerous foods. 3 foods that really help protect your heart. They are simple, accessible ingredients that directly act to prevent heart attacks, control blood pressure, and clean the arteries. If you include these foods in your daily life, even in small amounts, your body will notice, and your heart will thank you. Few foods offer as many direct benefits for the heart as tomatoes. Rich in lycopene, a powerful antioxidant, tomatoes help reduce the oxidation of bad cholesterol, LDL, one of the main factors in the formation of plaque in the arteries. And the most interesting thing, when tomatoes are cooked, this lycopene becomes even more bioavailable. That is, the body absorbs much more. A simple tomato soup or homemade sauce can be a natural shield against heart attacks. In addition, tomatoes are rich in potassium, an essential mineral that helps balance blood pressure and eliminate excess sodium from the body. This is essential for those who already live with unregulated pressure and do not want to overload the heart. Potassium works silently, regulating heartbeats and relieving tension in the artery walls. It's like giving space for the blood to circulate more freely. As if that weren't enough, tomatoes also have anti-inflammatory action and help cleanse the blood. It's a simple, affordable food that can be included in practically any meal: salads, sauces, juices, sautéed dishes. A small daily gesture that over time can mean less arterial stiffness, less pressure on the heart, and more years of quality life. The avocado is a true ally of cardiovascular health, and for good reason. Rich in monounsaturated fats, it helps reduce bad cholesterol, LDL, and increase good cholesterol, HDL, maintaining the lipid balance the heart needs to function safely. While many people fear avocado fat, the truth is that this fat is one of the best energy sources for the body and a true protective shield for its arteries. In addition, the avocado is a source of magnesium, potassium, and soluble fiber, essential nutrients for controlling blood pressure, improving circulation, and reducing internal inflammation. Magnesium helps stabilize the heartbeat and relax the blood vessels. Soluble fibers help cleanse excess fat from the blood, reducing the risk of atherosclerotic plaque formation. In other words, it acts on all sides, and always in favor of your heart. It is an extremely versatile food. You can eat it plain, with lemon, in a salad, blended with cocoa, or even as a base for natural creams and spreads. And the best part? Just half an avocado a few times a week to notice the benefits. It's not an exaggeration, it's consistency. Because when the heart receives the right nutrients, it responds with more strength, more stability, and more life. Red fruits are small in size, but giants in benefits. They are rich in anthocyanins, a type of antioxidant that protects the blood vessels from damage, reduces blood pressure, and fights chronic inflammation, one of the roots of heart problems. This alone would be reason enough to include a portion in your day. But there's more. In addition to antioxidants, fruits like strawberry, blueberry, raspberry, and blackberry help improve insulin sensitivity and control blood sugar levels. This is essential for those who want to protect their heart, as diabetes and heart problems go hand in hand. And how? They are rich in fiber and low in calories, and also help with weight control, another factor that eases the strain on the heart. You can eat these fruits pure, in vitamin drinks with plant-based milk, mixed with oats or natural yogurt. And even in small amounts, when consumed regularly, they offer a true protective effect. It's as if they cleanse the vessels from the inside, strengthen the blood, and allow the heart to beat more freely. All this, straight from nature, without colored packaging and empty promises. If you've made it this far, one thing has become clear. You are no longer on autopilot. You chose to get informed. And just that gesture is a sign that your health can change, and truly change. The heart doesn't scream from the start. It whispers. It gives signs. But those who choose to listen to these signs before an emergency have a chance to change course. And now you have that chance in your hands, or rather, on your plate. Most people don't realize that certain common foods can cause heart attacks, arrhythmias, hypertension, and even sudden death. But the truth is, the heart attack of tomorrow may be prepared by the diet of today. The good news, just as some foods attack, others protect. And when you start cutting out what inflames and including what heals, the body reacts, quickly, silently, and with gratitude. If this video has opened your eyes, go ahead and give a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell. Here, we tell the truth that the industry doesn't want you to know, and deliver solutions you can apply in your daily life without complication. And now, comment down below, I choose to protect my heart. Write that as a symbolic commitment, a sign that from today on, you'll look at your plate with different eyes. Because caring for the heart is not just a matter of living longer, it's about living better. With energy, with clarity, with the strength to make the most of the years to come. What you choose now defines whether the next chapters of your life will be light or full of limitations. And if you're here, it's because you already know it's never too late to start.